Naruto, God Level System Author, Blue Water God. Chapter 76, Cultivating Immortal Mode. I've finally left the country of rain. That damned environment is terrible, Nawaki said with a sigh of relief when he stepped into the country of Quan and left the wet and rainy country of rain. Nawaki, now is not the time to sigh. There are unknown enemies behind. Let's hurry up, Nara Shikahisa said. When Kudao Dingshuo heard the words, his face immediately became bitter. Luju, can you take a rest first? I'm almost exhausted. If I go on like this, I'll be exhausted before being killed by the enemy. This Tilda looking at the tired crowd, Luju hesitated for a moment. Go to the town in front for a rest. By the way, add food and water. Rixianchan said. Okay Tilda. With the opponent's strength, he has already caught up to catch up with us. We haven't caught up with us yet. We should be going in the wrong direction. It seems that we used to create a puzzle that is still useful. Previously, at the suggestion of Nara Shikahisa, they used the technique of shadow clones to deliberately leave traces of shadow clones and go in other directions. This can lead the other party away, although with the ability of the other party, 11 can find out quickly, but it can also buy them time. When they came to a border town, Rixianchan and the others took a rest and replenished some water sources, and then they didn't stay in the town much. After leaving the town, they found a hidden cave, ready to rest first. Chen, we need to restore chakra, and the vigilance will be left to you, Nara Shikahisa said to Hixianchan. In order to travel fast, their chakra has almost been consumed, which is why Nara Shikahisa agreed to rest. If they don't rest for a while, they won't say how long they will last. If they are caught up by the enemy, they can only wait to die without chakra. Hey, I've been eating Bingbao pills along the way, and now I can finally change the taste, but it's still not as delicious as Mikoto's. Shengshu took a rice ball and ate it in a big mouth. Nawaki and Uzumaki Tokoko both have immortal bodies, and the chakras are bursting, and there is no need to restore chakra at all. If you have something to eat, it's good. If you have nothing to do, go to guard. Don't bother me. Rixianchan waved to Shengshu. He is now going to try to cultivate the immortal mode, but he has no time to talk nonsense with the Nawaki. Nawaki ate a deflated meal here at Rixianchan, ran to the side depressed, and competed with the rice ball in his hand. Rixianchan closed his eyes and began to perceive the natural energy free in the air. If we say that the oldest thing in this world is natural energy, even the origin of chakra, the divine tree, grows through natural energy as nourishment. Rixianchan has a natural devil fruit and a fairy body, and it is easy to perceive natural energy. After sensing the natural energy, Rixianchan began to try to capture and integrate them into his body. This step is not difficult for Rixianchan, and it is even very easy. Natural energy flows into Rixianchan's body like flowing water, nourishing his body and activating his cells. After that, the last step is left, and it is also the most difficult step. The physical energy, spiritual energy and natural energy are combined in the form of 3 to 3:3 to form the fairy chakra. This step is very difficult. Even if Rixianchan has a strong control over chakra, it cannot be done at once. There were even several instances where the natural energy exceeded and Rixianchan's body turned into a flash of light. Fortunately, Mikoto and Kushina also knew about Hixianchan's abilities, otherwise they would definitely panic. What kind of Gzhi boundary is this? It's incredible that the body can actually turn into a flash. I've never heard of this kind of Gzhi boundary. Shengshu looked at him in a stunned manner. Bump. Rixianchan turned into a group of light again, and then regrouped again, his face extremely depressed. Hey, I failed again. The immortal mode is really not that easy to cultivate. It seems that I still take it for granted, Rixianchan said depressedly. Originally, he thought that he was relying on the immortal body, the natural devil fruit, and his own powerful talents. It was not easy to cultivate the immortal mode, but the cruel reality gave him a slap in the face. However, Rixianchan is not without gains. Although he was failed again and again, he has also gained some experience. As long as he practices more, he will definitely master the immortal mode. Mastering the immortal mode is a very important step in Rixianchan's plan. After mastering the immortal mode, Rixianchan planned to collect the tailed beast chakra and control the yin and yang escape technique. Then fuse the immortal chakra, 10 tails chakra, and the power of yin and yang escape to advance to the realm of 6 realms in one fell swoop. This was planned by Rixianchan a long time ago, and only in this way can he truly enter the realm of 6 paths. Otherwise, relying on the Tensian chakra mode, he is always a pseudo 6th. Although he can fight with 6th-level people, he is still short. The idea is very good, but it is very difficult to do. Now Rixianchan is only initially controlling the yin-yang escape, and the immortal mode has not yet been successfully cultivated. Hey, if the robe-blade Ruo can be smashed, why would I have to work so hard? Dat Onkma Hui, Dat Onkma Taoist style, and 6-path immortals will all be chopped down with a knife and vanished. Rixianchan sighed secretly. The core temperature of the sun of 15 million degrees, even if they are added together, is not enough to slash with one sword, but the premise is to cut each other. I practiced the immortal mode again for a while, but in the end I didn't succeed. Rixianchan put it down first, and Rome was not built in a day. On the other side, Mikoto is teaching Xionon to refine chakra, and Kushina is also guiding. I have to say that Xiaonan's talent is indeed strong, and he has already figured out the clues very quickly, and he has even extracted a trace of chakra. Shengshu, who has been looking at it, is amazed. When he extracted chakra, it took 2 days to extract it, and Xiaonan has already extracted chakra in just a few hours. Chen, can you teach me the ninjutsu of your ball rolling without a seal? Shengshu said embarrassedly. He knew that something like ninjutsu was a secret that a person could never pass on. Even between masters and disciples, some things could not be taught. But for Xianchen's very powerful ninjutsu that doesn't need a knot. Roshu is very envious. You mean Thunder Spiral Pill? That's right. It's this ninjutsu. Okay. Shengshu looked at Xianchen with hope. I can't teach you Thunder Spiral Pills, but I can teach you Spiral Pills. If you have a good understanding, you may be able to develop Thunder Spiral Pills, or other Spiral Pills. Hearing the words in front of Xianchen, Nawaki, who was a little disappointed, jumped up excitedly after hearing the words behind. Chapter 77. I admit you, Chen. Thank you so much. Shengshu burst into tears with excitement. Xianchen felt a little chilly, and a man looked at him tearfully, which made Xianchen feel very uncomfortable. Hurry up and put away your expression, or I won't teach you. Oh, Shengshu wiped away her tears immediately, for fear that Xianchen would go back on teaching him. Xianchen took out the practice scroll of Helix Pill and handed it to Roshu. Not to mention that Xianchen and Roshu had a good relationship. Even if he looked at Tsunade's face, Xianchen would not refuse Rope's small request. After all, Nawaki is also his brother-in-law, so he should take care of him. The ninjutsu of Spiral Maru is actually not very strong, at least compared with S-rank ninjutsu. There is still a big gap. However, the practicability of the Spiral Pill, and the continuous development ability of the Spiral Pill, are definitely the strongest ninjutsu in Hokage. Anyway, Xianchen has already given the most primitive Spiral Pill to Nawaki, and it depends on his own ability to which step he can develop it. All the steps of Spiral Pill's cultivation have been recorded above. If you can't learn it, you can only say that you are stupid. Shengshu nodded while holding the scroll of Helix Pill, and found that the cultivation method of Helix Pill is not too difficult. Although Shengshu really wanted to practice, but now there are no props to practice, so he can only suppress it. That Chen, can you teach me that too? Minato, who restored chakra, came over and asked with an embarrassed expression. Xianchen raised his brows when he heard the words, and then did not refuse. Anyway, this was originally a ninjutsu developed by Namafing Minato. Even if Xianchen refused, he could develop it, so it would be better to be a favor. The scroll is at the Nawaki. Go and make a copy. Thank you, Chen. Minato Namikaze bowed heavily to Xianchen. Originally, Namikaze Minato was already ready to be rejected by Xianchen, but Xianchen actually agreed. Xianchen calmly accepted Namikaze Minato's thanks. Although Spiral Maru was created by Namikaze Minato, it also took time. If Xianchen refuses Minato, it will take at least a few years to study it. Although the principle of Spiral Pill is simple, it is not easy to develop and create. It can be said that Xianchen gave Namikaze Minato the training method of Spiral Maru, which directly saved several years of time for Namikaze Minato. After a day of rest, Naruto proposed to leave here and return to the village as soon as possible. No one refused to Naruto's proposal. Only when they returned to the village could they be truly safe. After the rest, Xianchen and the others entered the journey again. It took 3 days for them to finally step into the territory of the Land of Fire, and Naruto heaved a sigh of relief. Don't be too happy. Even if you step into the country of fire, it doesn't mean that the enemy won't chase after him. Xianchen reminded. Don't worry Chen, this is the country of fire now, and the enemy will never dare to catch up. Naruto shook his head and said, ninjas from other villages generally do not go to other countries to make troubles. Ha. What if the enemy is also a ninja from the Land of Fire? Xianchen asked rhetorically with a smile. Impossible. How could it be the ninja of our country of fire? Nawaki immediately retorted. Naruto fell into contemplation, and the possibility that Hyuga Tatsu said was not impossible. Now we are still far from Konoha village. Even if the opponent is a ninja from the enemy's shinobi village, it's not that they dare not catch up. Returning to Konoha is the real safety. Chen is right. Let's hurry back to the village. Naruto nodded. After 6 days, they finally set foot on the only way back to Konoha village. Stop. Xianchen stopped and shouted. Chen, what happened? No need to go. The other party has already been waiting for us here. Xianchen said lightly. What? Naruto suddenly widened his eyes. Little devil, your observation skills are really sharp. You guys arrived very quickly, a few days earlier than I expected. The Blood Eagle led people out of the dark and surrounded Xianchen and the others. Shengshu and the others immediately took out kunai and watched the group of ninjas vigilantly. It's not far from Konoha. If you dare to appear here, aren't you afraid that our Konoha ninja will find out? Naruto asked with a solemn expression. Okay Luju, there is no need to say anything to a group of mad dogs. After all, they are mad dogs led by mad dogs. What would they be afraid of? Xianchen looked at each other playfully and said. Little devil, you are courting death. The Blood Eagle was furious, and even the most respected Danzo was scolded by this sentence. You are very loyal when you are a dog. I think it is better to be a watchdog for me. I will never treat you badly. Even after performing countless tasks and experiencing the test of blood and fire, facing Rick Xianchen's words, Blood Eagle couldn't help it. Chakra, who burst into the whole body, quickly approached Rick Xianchen, and he wanted to unscrew Rick Xianchen's head to vent his anger. Facing the rapidly approaching Blood Eagle, Rick Xianchen raised his fist and waved lightly at the opponent, ignoring the opponent at all. The Blood Eagle was even more furious, and dared to look down on him. Since you are courting death, I will first abolish your arm, and then slowly torture you. The Blood Eagle also raised his fist, enveloped Chakra, and smashed towards Rick Xianchen. Physical skills were definitely his strongest point. How could he lose to a 10-year-old kid? The Blood Eagle showed a cruel smile at the corner of his mouth, and wanted to see each other. Of misery. Touch. Boom. Two fists, one big and one small, collided, and Rick Xianchen stood still and didn't feel at all. But the Blood Eagle took a dozen steps backwards. His arm was numb, and it was difficult to even lift it up. Yes, you can actually take a punch from me. I have admitted you to Rick Xianchen. You are qualified to sign up. I will write down your name in my notebook. When I become the of the ninja world in the future, as a person who once fought with the of the ninja world, I may be mentioned a few times by later generations. Humiliation, which is humiliating him, is more humiliating than putting his face on the ground and stepping on it. When Sheng Shu and others heard Rick Xianchen's shameless words, they looked at Rick Xianchen with contempt. It's good to think about this kind of words in your heart, but you still say it. The of the ninja world was said by Rick Xianchen as if he was in the bag. No matter whether Rick Xianchen can do it or not, it is right to despise it first. Ha ha ha. I don't know if there is a limit to the thickness of the sky. The of the ninja world, it's up to you. Enduring the pain in his arm, Xuying said disdainfully. Let's go together. Kill this little devil first. If this person is not eliminated, he will definitely become the big enemy of adults in the future. Blood Eagle roared. Although he was disdainful in his mouth, in his heart he really believed that Rick Xianchen had the qualifications to become the of ninja world. What Rick Xianchen said before sounded like he was talking big, but at the age of 10, he could actually repel himself who had reached the quasi-shadow level. Even the former of the ninja world, Senju Hashimoto, couldn't do it at this age, right? With the strength that Rick Xianchen showed, he couldn't ignore it. Chapter 78. The Seal of the Four Signs in the Lava Spiral. Maru. A group of chickens and dogs can only keep warm by hugging each other. Seeing the ninjas rushing towards him from all directions, Rick Xianchen didn't care at all. Shenliu Otanzing. Whether it was the released ninjutsu, the thrown shuriken, and the kunai, all those ninjas were repelled by the powerful repulsion. Seeing the group of joinin who vomited blood and flew upside down, the Nawaki, Minato Namikaze and the others who had been watching from the sidelines, they were stunned. Is it so scary? It's like a father beating his son. For the first time, Shikahisa Nara felt that his brain was not working well. Damn, how can it be so strong? It's not human. Xuying clutched his chest, half knelt on the ground, and said with difficulty, I didn't even use my strength, and you all that knelt down, which really disappoints me. Taking back what I said before, your name is not worthy of being written down in my notebook. Rick Xianchen shook his head in disappointment. Disappointed on the surface. In fact, the inside is sullen. Rick Xianchen, who likes to pretend to be forceful, is happy in his heart. This is what he wants. If the opposite is a movie-level master to set off, it will be more perfect. Originally, you didn't have to die, but who told you to jump out and die? Vientiane Tanyan. Rick Xianchen stood in the air, stretched out his hands, the majestic gravitational force erupted in his palms, and then the two jonin, who were lying on the ground, were instantly sucked in. Crack 240 times, Rick Xianchen ruthlessly twisted the opponent's neck, then let go of his hand. The two corpses smashed to the ground, making a bang sound, and a cloud of dust was thrown up. The rest of the people looked cold, even after harsh training. No names, no feelings, no past, no future. A person who has only the root of the mission in mind. When I saw my companion being pinched to death like this, I couldn't help but feel a chill in my heart, and I felt like my lips were dead and my teeth were cold. To be honest, I don't have a sense of accomplishment in killing a rookie like you. Now that the shadow level powerhouse is here, Rick Xianchen can also easily hang and beat him. These guys who don't even have shadow level strength are just here to give people away. Brother Chen is so powerful. Xiao Nan, who was hugged by Mikoto, had sparkling eyes, and she felt that Rick Xianchen was so handsome just now. Xiao Nan, elder sister, I am also very good. If I take action, I can easily deal with those people. Jixin I touched Xiao Nan's head and said, brother is the most powerful. Xiao Nan said stubbornly, Humphrey, let you see how good my sister is. Jixin I was upset and wanted to prove herself to Xiao Nan. You don't need to intervene in the next battle, I will solve them. Kushina stepped forward and said to Rick Xianchen. Rick Xianchen shrugged, and then fell from the air. He knew that Kushina likes to be in the limelight. Since she likes to be in the limelight, let her be out. Anyway, Rick Xianchen has already crippled the opponent, and he is the strongest quasi-gauge, and now he can only exert the strength of the elite Junin at most. An elite Jounin is a bit underwhelming in the face of Kushina, who has rockberry fruit. Kushina, who eats rockberry fruit, is not much weaker than Mikoto. Rockberry's ability, even Mikoto, who has the eternal kaleidoscope, is an incomparable headache. If it weren't for her armed and domineering, Mikoto wouldn't even be able to fight Kushina, let alone other people. And the power of rockberry, naturally, needless to say, using rockberry with all their strength, one person can destroy a city in an instant. So Kushina wanted to solve these people. It was easy and enjoyable. Even if Kushina stood and let them fight, they couldn't help Kushina. Damn, you actually look down on us so much. Huo-dun Hao Yanhu. Attack together. Fire escape, fire dragon, firebomb, wind escape, great breakthrough. The 6 Jonin used ninjutsu together, and the fire took advantage of the wind, and the incomparable fire swept towards Kushina. Because the Blood Eagle was injured by Rixiangchen on his right arm, he couldn't make a seal with one hand, so he could only wait for an opportunity, looking for an opportunity to launch a fatal blow. Looking at the boundless flames, Kushina smiled, unless the temperature of the flames they used was higher than that of the magma, or they were giving her welfare. The temperature of the magma exceeds 1,000 degrees, and it is difficult for the flame to reach such a high temperature without special conditions. So they were tragic, and the boundless fire was swallowed and absorbed by Kushina, enhancing their magma heat. What? Looking at the unscathed Kushina, the root Junin who launched the attack all showed disbelief. Roshu and the others, who were watching from behind, were also relieved. The situation just now really made them sweat for Kushina. That fiery flame, even from a dozen meters away, can feel the feeling of being melted. Kushina's ability seems to be the same as that of Chen's blood. It's just that one turns into flash, and the other turns into magma. Shengshu looked at Rixiangchen and said, when Rixiangchen failed to cultivate the immortal mode before, Nawaki was surprised for a while at Rixiangchen, who turned into a flash. Rixiangchen smiled and didn't explain how to explain something like devil fruit. Eating a fruit can get all kinds of power. It is really incredible. At least people in Naruto world have a hard time understanding this kind of thing. In fact, there is a fruit in Hokage that is countless times stronger than the devil fruit. That is the fruit of the divine tree, the fruit that truly makes one go to heaven in one step, becoming the fruit of God. Rixiangchen didn't say much, and no one asked much. This kind of ability that involves the boundaries of other people's blood cannot be asked randomly in the ninja world. Otherwise, even the best friends can become enemies. Magma spiral pills, turn me into ashes. Kushina had 2 fiery red spiral pills in each of his hands, tumbling lava spiral pills, and then threw them out violently. This is developed by Kushina based on the ability of the spiral pill and the ability of the rock fruit. Like the thunder spiral pill of Sun Xiangchen, it belongs to the S-rank ninjutsu. The 2 spiral pills instantly penetrated the chests of the 2 Jonin, and then the compressed magma inside erupted. The temperature and impact force instantly swallowed the 2 unfortunate Jonin next to him, and the other 2 couldn't dodge as they were pierced by the swirling magma. Only the quasi-shadow of the Blood Eagle, relying on its own reaction power and speed, escaped the catastrophe, but the left arm was burned by the magma. The Blood Eagle was sweating coldly on his forehead, and his heart was rising. For a ninja, with one arm, the ninja's career could be said goodbye. Not everyone can learn to make a seal with one hand. For the sake of the adults, even if I die, I will also take you with me. The 4 elephants are sealed. The Blood Eagle roared wildly. A large amount of black blood spurted out and radiated outward with itself as the center of the sphere. This was a seal technique that was sealed together with oneself, a move that perished together. It's the ultimate sealing technique of our Vortex family. Hurry up and avoid it. Kushina's pupils shrank, and then shouted loudly. Although the activation speed of the Li Xixiang sealing technique is not fast, no matter how Xiangchen, Mikoto, or Kushina can easily escape. But Roshu and the others can't, they simply don't have that speed. Chapter 79. Back to Konoha. Space banishment. A pitch black hole swallowed the Blood Eagle in an instant, and was banished to another dimension by Rixiangchen. After the Blood Eagle disappeared, the seal of Li Xixiang was broken naturally. Tenseizen's time and space manipulation. Although Rixiangchen can't play with time ability, but space ability is very smooth. In the entire Naruto world, there is absolutely no space ability that is more slippery than his, including those 6-level non-human beings. If Obito dares to use the space pupil technique to force him in front of him, Rixiangchen can instantly tell him that your divine space is mine. Time ability is not enough. Now Rixiangchen can only accelerate the time of 100 meters in a radius of 1 year at most, and the consumption is still very large, which is not practical at all. As for the more perverted time pause and time reversal, Rixiangchen couldn't do it at all. Seeing Rixiangchen's solution to the seal of the 4 elephants, Shengshu and the others were also relieved. They thought they were going to die just now. Let's go. Let's meet Konoha. Chen, do you know who they are? Nara Shikuhisa whispered to Xiangchen. Luju, sometimes knowing too much is not good. Rixiangchen said with a deep meaning. The Nara family are all smart people, and there is no fool. Naturally, they know what Xiangchen means. If they know too much, He may be in danger. Naruto didn't ask any further questions. In fact, he had already guessed something. The seal of the four elephants is a forbidden technique of the Vortex clan, and the Vortex clan has already been exterminated. Now the only one with the Vortex clan sealing technique is Konoha village, which has a friendly relationship with the Vortex clan. In other words, the people who want to kill them are from Konoha. Although I don't know the reason, Naruto doesn't pursue it anymore. Let's talk about it when we go back to Konoha. After killing the root members of the Blood Eagle, Xianchen and the others went very smoothly, and they returned to Konoha in more than a day. After handing over the proof of leaving the village, the gatekeeper Chunin immediately took them to see Hokage, which was ordered by his and Sarutobi himself. As long as Xianchen and his party return, they will take them to the Hokage building to see him. When I came to the Hokage building and looked at the intact Tomoko Uzumaki, his and Sarutobi finally let go of his heart, and the sorrow of many days disappeared, showing a smile. You are all new branches and leaves of Konoha. I can rest assured that you can come back safely. Now the ninja world is not peaceful, and there are fewer tasks to leave the village. I don't want to see the next generation of Konoha die. Sarutobi Hizen said graciously, and in an instant, Nozu and Minato Namikaze were moved to tears. Xianchen looked at the amiable Sarutobi Hizen, and grinned. For this old guy of the third generation, Xianchen didn't have much affection for him, nor did he have too much disgust. Sometimes Sarutobi Hizen is too indecisive, and he is blindly condoning Danzo without any domineering. Even if Sarutobi Hizen is in his prime now, Xianchen doesn't see any domineering in him. And Danzo is not a good thing, and Sarutobi Hizen himself is not a good bird. Although Xianchen is not a good person, he is not qualified to evaluate anything, but it does not prevent me from seeing you unhappy. Who is this child? Sarutobi Hizen had noticed Xiaonan for a long time, but it was only now that he asked. Xiaonan is a younger sister I recognize. Sarutobi Hizen took a deep look at Xianchen after hearing the words. Facing Sarutobi Hizen's direct gaze, Hyuga Tatsu's expression remained unchanged. Xianchen, right. Since she is the sister you recognize, then apply for a village entry certificate. From now on, you will be a member of our Konoha village. After a long time, Sarutobi Hizen looked back and said, Conan is still young, so Sarutobi Hizen is not worried about being an undercover agent, but he will ask Kanbu to investigate after Sarutobi Hizen. After that, Sarutobi Hizen asked about the process of this mission, and Xianchen and the others said everything they could say, but didn't say anything they couldn't. For example, they were chased and killed, and the issue of Xianchen's strength, all of which were not mentioned. They only said that they were hiding in the country of rain, which was delayed for so long. To be honest, Sarutobi Hizen didn't believe Xianchen and the others, but he didn't ask much, so he could only ask Kanbu to investigate later. Anyway, as long as Uzumaki Tomoko came back safely, Sarutobi Hizen would be at ease, and the rest was not important. After giving Xiaonan a certificate of entering the village, Xianchen and the others went home. I'm rich, I'll change to a bigger house tomorrow. Xianchen and the others can't say that this house is small, but it's not big either. What about this house? Could it be sold? Kushino asked. When Xianchen heard the words, he tapped Kushino's head lightly, and then said, why are you selling it? Now the price of the house is falling every day. Even if you sell it, you can't sell it for a few dollars. We're not bad for money. Not only do we not sell, we have to buy more houses. Now is the ninja war, and the real estate industry is in recession. We will buy at a low price now, and then sell it at a high price after the end of the ninja war. In this way, we will be the first in the ninja world. A rich man, don't worry about money. The light in Xianchen's eyes was the first time he felt so business-minded. He wanted to enter real estate, and he wanted to become the real estate king. After the rapid downsizing of the Ninja World War, the current house is not expensive, and even continues to decline. And after the war ended, they were busy creating children. That is the period of population explosion, and hoarding real estate now is a business that can make a profit without losing money. But what's the use of us asking for so much money? Kushino asked. It doesn't seem to be of any use. Xianchen scratched his head awkwardly. He didn't create any organization, and he wasn't the patriarch of any family. He only had enough money to cover their family's expenses. It was useless if he had more money. Strength was the most important thing. I'm going to clean up Xiaonan's room. Mikoto, go and cook. Duke Sinai gave Xianchen a blank look, and then took Xiaonan upstairs. Mikoto looked at the stunned Xianchen, laughed Pucci, and went into the kitchen to cook. No, this money still has to be earned. There is still a prodigal woman like Tsunade at home. Even tens of billions are not enough for her to lose. Xianchen, who had planned to give up, suddenly became firm again. Tsunade's terrifying gambling skills are too terrifying. If they don't make money, their family will probably eat dirt in the future. Turn on the TV, and the scene of the Ninja World War is playing. I don't know which one is not afraid of death, but dares to shoot on the battlefield. Although some things on TV are bullshit, they are also a bit dry. Xianchen watched the TV and made a general analysis. The current situation in Konoha is a bit bad. Uran village, Sandian Village and Yannian Village actually reached a consensus to deal with Konoha Village together. Whoever made the geographical situation of the Country of Fire better, not to mention destroying Konoha Village, as long as they can bite a piece of meat in the Country of Fire, they will make a lot of money. So I don't know who persuaded who. Anyway, the three ninja villages united and attacked Konoha together. Even the three generations of Tsuchikage Onogi and the three generations of Kazekage also entered the battlefield. The Sanjiao Hanzo, who had been nesting in Uran Village, also showed up. He brought the ninjas from Uran Village to join a wave of fierce attacks, causing the unsuspecting Konoha troops to retreat hundreds of miles, causing heavy casualties. Chapter 80 Counting the Thousand Hand Family. Is Tsunade going to be alright? Rixianchin was a little worried. Although Tsunade was on the battlefield, his strength was already comparable to that of the movie class, so nothing should happen, but Rixianchin was still very worried. Although Tsunade is fine in the original book, but this Naruto world has more of his butterfly, who knows if there will be a butterfly effect. For example, in the previous Nine-Tailed People's column strength replacement, in the original work, the Nine-Tailed absolutely did not go berserk, but now the Nine-Tails broke free from control and went berserk. If it wasn't for Rixianchin's crippling of the Nine-Tails, Konoha didn't know how much he would have to pay to seal the Nine-Tails again. Although Rixianchin is not familiar with the Second Ninja World War, and only knows a general idea, he is sure that there is absolutely no such thing as the three parties uniting at the beginning of the war to fight against Konoha. In other words, another change has occurred. Rixianchin himself is strong and does not worry about any changes, but he is worried about the people around him. I would have known that I could not eat the fruit of the Thunderbolt if I gave it to Tsunade. I can rest assured now. Rixianchin regretted it very much. Go to the battlefield another day, otherwise I won't worry. After thinking for a long time, Rixianchin decided to go to the battlefield. After eating and chatting for a while, Rixianchin went back to his room, and he wanted to concentrate on practicing the Immortal mode. After several attempts, they all ended in failure, which made Rixianchin a little disappointed, but not discouraged. Yin-Yang Escape Sun Xianchin is ready to use. It can condense black sticks with Yin-Yang Escape, but it is impossible to create life from nothingness. Now the most important thing is to cultivate into the Immortal mode, and then collect the chakras of the 9 big-tailed beasts, and fuse the chakras of the 9-tailed beasts into 10-tailed chakras. After the cultivation was fruitless, Rixianchin could only go to sleep. Although the cultivation of the Immortal mode has been failing, it is still beneficial. First of all, the quality of the chakra in his body is a little stronger than before. In this way, even if he can't learn the fairy mode, he can enter the super shadow level. Although Rixianchin playing the shadow level now is like a father beating his son, but Rixianchin is only the peak of the shadow level, and has not entered the super shadow level. After a night's rest, Rixianchin woke up in good spirits, ate Mikoto's breakfast, and took Mikoto, Kushina and Xionan to see the house. When he came to the house for sale, Rixianchin took the ticket in his hand and began to frantically scan the goods. Now the house price is a bit cheaper. Rixianchin swept away half of Konoha's real estate, as well as the mansion, and only used a third of the money in his hand. Originally, Rixianchin wanted to take down the remaining half, but the other party had already banned him from buying it, and Rixianchin didn't mind. Even these houses could make him a lot of money. Rixianchin's frantic sweeping of the house also shocked many people. Rixianchin spends so much money. Even those big families will hurt their bones. Compared with those businessmen, the ninja family is not richer than those businessmen at all. The expenses of ninjas are too high. They are not like big businessmen, and they almost earn more and more. Although this is the world of ninjas, the richest are not ninjas. Konoha is prosperous enough. Don't you still need to find a big name for funding? Therefore, Rixianchin's behavior, even the 3 generations of Hokage Sarutobi Hizen, also pays attention. The purchase of the other half of the house is forbidden, which is the order of the 3rd generation. When the 3 generations do not know the purpose of Rixianchin, the 3rd generation will not sell the house to him. At the same time, he was also thinking about where Rixianchin got so much money. However, the 3rd generation did not have time to tangle on this for too long, and the situation on the battlefield had already made him sad. A total of 6 shadow-level characters, including Sanshou Hanzo, the 3rd generation Tsuchikage Onoki, the Tsuchikage's assistant Shiheng, the 3rd generation Kazekage, the Sand Ninja's advisor Chio, and Heilosang, attacked Konoha. There are more ordinary ninjas, and Konoha can only retreat to the border now, barely making it impossible for the enemy to enter the Country of Fire. But you can't keep back like this all the time. The daimyo has already conveyed his dissatisfaction with him. If Konoha loses again, he will cut the funds, which will only make things worse for Konoha. Hey, it looks like I can only do my best. Sarutobi hasn't summoned Danzo. What's the matter with me? Tuanzang asked with a dark face. Since Tomoko Uzumaki came back, his face has been dark. Now that his confidant Blood Eagle has not returned, Tuanzo's face is even darker. Danzo, this is news from the battlefield. The situation is a little bad. Sarutobi Hizen handed Danzo a secret letter. After Danzo finished reading, his brows furrowed. Rainbow Village, Sand Ninja Village, and Yan'an village actually join forces. How could this be? Now that we want to fight against the 2 great ninja villages, and the Rain Ninja Village, which is no weaker than the 5 great ninja villages, we Konoha are still unable to do it. Now that the battlefield has been defeated again and again, we must take action to curb their offensive. Sarutobi Hizen sighed and said, now we can only rely on us to go to the battlefield and stabilize the situation in Konoha. The Yan'an village in the north is also ready to move, and the situation cannot be delayed. So you and I have to go to the battlefield now to contain their offensive. I hope you don't refuse for the sake of the village. After being silent for a long time, Danzo nodded and said, yes, but I have a request, and that is to bring the entire Kainzu clan to the battlefield. What? Now the Kainzu clan has become lonely. There are only a few dozen people in the entire clan, and most of them are submissive. Even if you take them, it won't change anything. During the First Shinobi World War, the Senju clan, under the leadership of Senju Tobirama, fought too hard, and now there are not many remaining clan members. Danzo, the Senju family is the teacher's family. You must let them die. Sarutobi Hizen's voice became stern. Danzo glanced at Sarutobi Hizen lightly. Don't forget, when you became Hokage, who gave you the most resistance? If it wasn't for Mito-san's support, you wouldn't even be able to be Hokage. Danzo said lightly sarcastically. Sarutobi Hizen was silent. And the people of the Kainzu family have never given you face. Because they are one of the builders of 3.9 Konoha, when they do things they care about your feelings. Danzo's remarks pierced the heart of Sarutobi Hizen. The Kainzu clan is no longer suitable for Konoha, and it can only be Konoha's Boras. Let them do their best for Konoha. Tuanzang said indifferently. Hey, it's up to you. Hiruzen Sarutobi sighed. Thousands of Nawakis will also be sent to the battlefield together. What? Danzo, you are too much. Sarutobi Hizen stared at Danzo. Once the Kainzu Nawaki grows up, with the prestige of the Kainzu clan, wait for your abdication. Tuanzang said coldly. There are many ninjas and clans who have received the favor of the Thousand Hand clan. Once the Nawaki grows up and wants to become a Hokage, there will definitely be countless people supporting him, and Sarutobi may even be forced to abdicate. If you like this audiobook, subscribe the channel for more videos like this. Leave some comment and let me know if you guys like this story, or you have a web novel you like and want to hear its audiobook. I will be happy to create them for you. Please like, share, and leave a comment on the video.